Hi guys, welcome to your reading this week. So I'm just doing a little pre-recorded introduction of what the basis of this week's readings are, so I don't have to repeat myself in every in all 12 zodiacs. So we're going to do this week, it's called Your Positive Boomerang. So I want to give you just tell you how I came up with this reading concept. So you don't just go, oh, Cindy, she's talking about exes or anything. No. So the positive boomerang is something that actually happened for me twice in just the past week. And they're two really different avenues of life. And I thought this almost feels kind of symbolic in some way. So the first one was a missing pancake mix. So my son loves a certain type of pancake mix. And about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months into the start of the pandemic here in North America, when it all we went into the first lockdowns and that, I couldn't get it anymore and I couldn't find it. And it was just such a significant thing because I used to make him this mix all the time and it was just kind of lost. So it was almost like a piece of nostalgia even that was just gone. And then I found the pancake mix last week and I couldn't believe it. Like, wow. So he was so excited and we started making these pancakes again. And I thought, wow, that came back. And then another way that you can look at the boomerang. So it is something that could be lost, something that you couldn't find anymore, something got taken away, and suddenly it's back in your life again. Like, oh, wow, that's really cool. So the other way the boomerang can come through is, actually, it's funny, it's also something to do with my son. So maybe about, again, 3, 4, maybe 5 months into the pandemic, it was just after, at least here where I am in Canada, you couldn't even get into the dentists. But then they opened it up for a little bit if you had emergencies, and he had a cavity that was actually forming in his tooth for 3 or 4 months or whatever. And it was a horrible experience actually at a child's dentist of all places, where they tried to force his mouth closed with the thing in it. It was horrible. It was really horrible. It traumatized both him and I. I stopped going there, but it caused for him a fear of going to the dentist, and totally reasonable fear to have after what he'd been through. And he was starting to choke, and it was terrible what they did. And anyways, so I actually started taking him to my dentist, and I explained to them everything that he had been through. We need to build some trust here. So they've been doing that with him for the last couple of years, and it's been going really well. And so he hasn't had a dental x-ray in 2.5 years because he couldn't handle the thing in his mouth and he was terrified about his last experience with it. He got a dental x-ray last week and I was like, oh my God. It just was this overwhelming feeling of getting past this huge hurdle that I thought this is going to be a big thing because he needs to do these periodically, and I know he's going to need orthodontic work. It would get he would freak out if they were putting things in his mouth to clean his teeth. And so it's kind of it felt to me, wow, this is so symbolic, these two big things. The pancake mix, so big, Cindy, but it was, that have kind of come to a head or returned, or at least you feel you've surmounted the initial aspect of something that was kind of maybe very large in your life at the time. So that's the basis of the boomerang, the positive boomerang readings that I'm going to do this week. So I'm going to look at the area of your life that this could be about, what this symbolizes, what is the purpose too, and why is the boomerang taking place? What's going to be happening? What's the whole point of the boomerang taking place? It could just be to make pancakes again together, or it could be that now you don't have to worry so much about an event that occurred in the past. That's kind of finished. You've gotten through it. So that's what we're going to do with these readings this week, and that's what the boomerang is all about, guys. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So we're going to get into this positive boomerang for you. I'm going to use the Energy Oracle deck. Here, Blossom in Abundance. I'm going to use my brand new Modern Spellcasters Tarot and my teeny tiny Witch Tarot. Let's get started. We may have some noise interference at some point. My little dog Lily brought her bone in. She got a new bone last night. And she picked it up from the living room and she comes sauntering in the room and she looks at me with the bone in her mouth and she's wagging her tail. So I said, oh, you coming? So she came in and she dropped it there and she chewed it for a bit, but she's laying in her bed now. But she may go back to it, and she's, of course, decided to drop it right behind the camera. So she starts chewing it. I couldn't say no. She's so cute the way she came in wagging her tail. Look what I got. All right, Cancer. Area of your life this positive boomerang is about, what this symbolizes, and why this boomerang is taking place. So let's see. What do you got? Appreciation. Area of your life. So it could be the area of your life you feel least appreciated. Area of your life where you feel the most appreciated. The area of your life that has to do with appreciation. So I don't know. See what this symbolizes. And why is the boomerang, the positive boomerang, taking place? What this symbolizes. Wow, very intimate, vulnerable places. The house of your soul. Oh, hello. That's interesting. Appreciation and this very kind of sensitive area within you. It's almost like the most, okay, something going on with your boomerang here, or it has something to do with where in life, I'm going to say, is probably the best parts of you that go mostly unrecognized and unnoticed by others. Because though this is a pretty delicate, sensitive place, like you've likely exposed it, you know, at least once or twice in your lifetime. Maybe, I want to say because of the fragility of it, maybe exposed it like done it in a very limited way. So, it's interesting. Why is this boomerang taking place? Oh, some sort of deceit here. Why is this taking place? Because somebody been deceiving someone. Yep. Okay, what do you got here? You got a lot. Oh my God. Didn't you guys hear? I had a rough night. Okay. Woman holding a coin. Financial constraints. Temple path. Wow. Woman holding a coin and financial constraints. That almost feels like somebody like in control of your financial freedom somehow. And then the temple path, broken heart. It's like the things that the universe guides you to do don't feel like they lead in places that feel very good. Then you have the 5th chakra and the 6th chakra. Right there that I hear, speaking your mind. Action, walking away, thinking man. Wow. Taking action to walk away and then think about things. This is, your underline is like a whole reading in itself. Just let's look at this. Wow. Okay. Yeah, woman holding a financial. Okay, so somebody has had some sort of financial control or power over you or empowerment over you at some point here. And I mean, this could be a parent, it could be a spouse, it could be an employer, whatever, you know, who hasn't, to be quite honest. But it's significant because it's showing up in the reading. So with the temple path and the broken heart, 5th chakra and the 6th chakra, I feel like this is speaking your mind, going on a journey here to speak about the things that perhaps have hurt you the most, or where you find the most pain, or where you have found the most pain in your journey. I don't know if this is something that you feel you need to say to somebody. You take action and then you walk away, and it gives you, I want to say, to clear your mind about things that you need to think about. So there's that. Now, All right, so now I'm going to get into the tarot and see where this is going. The positive boomerang has something to do with where you feel appreciated, where you don't feel appreciated. It has everything to do with appreciation. Oh, geez, this deck, it's new and it's slippery. It's slippery. I don't know how much of that was caught on camera, but it literally like exploded. And I got them all. Okay. I'm very tired today. It's just, I slept like a rock, but holy crap. I don't think I was sleeping. I think I was astral projecting all night. Visiting everybody I've ever known. Past and in the future. Weird. Like, you know, when you see somebody, you're like, that's not them right now. Is this them towards the end of a past life? Is this them towards the end of this life? I don't know. Oh, somebody lying to you. That's what's coming around. Somebody's been lying to you about something. Somebody's been deceiving you about something. Yeah, so the boomerang's coming around, right? Probably to divulge the truth. I don't know. The Knight of Cups is at the bottom. I'm not sure how that plays into anything, considering the other underline was huge, but we'll get there at some point. Okay, area of your life that this boomerang is about. Look at this. The King of Swords, the Chariot, and then the Page of Cups. I want to say that this is moving away from... Okay. Because you have like two different levels here, right? Like the King of Swords is much higher in terms of experience and time spent knowing compared to like a page. But the King of Swords isn't really an emotional person. He's not showing any emotions. He could be quite cynical and clinical in his thinking. He can be quite reserved with the information that he shares. So that's interesting too, right? Not anyone speaking of appreciation. This Chariot's like it's moving away from him. Well, actually, that's you. You're the Chariot, right? Like moving away. And it's almost like making a choice here. Okay. So this is the area of your life that this is in. So I need to keep on track with this too. So keep up with me and I'll keep up with me too. This is like, let's say you've invested yourself with someone for quite a long time. Or this person has a lot of information to impart. You know, maybe you just met them. I don't know. But this person is seasoned as the King of Swords. They're seasoned in life. And it doesn't feel particularly good, to be quite honest. So you're moving away from this person, or you've made a choice to move away from this person. And it's almost like saying, by going towards the Page of Cups, you know, I'd rather spend more time with or invest my time more so with a person or people who have less experience, but there's more hope there. There's more of something to feel, even if it's small. So, you know, it could be like, let's say, you know, if this is a boss and he runs like a really tight ship, you know what's going on. It's very predictable. this and that is on your desk, and he expects this and that to be completed and on his desk by a certain time and on a certain day, and this is when that happens, and da 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 da. You know, there's nothing unusual. But you know what? I want to say with the King of Swords, it's not really someone who would show appreciation. So that's, you know, what it does. It feels like some sort of, I don't know if it's one situation in particular, or if this has been like a repeat thing throughout your life. You know, I feel like it could be talking about one thing in particular, because the Deceit card is the reason why this is taking place. So where I was going with this, it's almost like, and let's say this guy has a big business. Let's say he's the head of IBM or something. I don't know. You're his secretary or his right-hand man. But, you know, I would rather go work for, right, moving away from that individual, I would rather go work for this small startup business where, you know, their days are not planned like you've got everything systematically put together. But, you know, you can imagine a little bit. You can be a little bit more creative there. And I really don't know what the outcome is going to be, but it's just, so it's weird, right? Like it's, actually, no, it's not weird, but it might seem weird to this individual, because this individual is facts. And the fact is, you make more money with me. You have a better future here with me. You know what to expect. You're going to have a great retirement. No, I just can't do that anymore. Because I don't feel appreciated, you know? So you don't feel appreciated at all. And that is like, you know, do you understand the value? I shouldn't dump my cards. Of this compared to what you're offering me. Like, it doesn't have to be a boss. It could be somebody that you dealt with for a long time, and maybe this is a long established friendship. Could even be a guru. Like, it could be somebody who's they impart knowledge to you somehow, or they could. But I'm really getting a bit of a hard ass with that card, and just wanting to move away from that and just find something refreshing and new. Even if there's no intellect behind it, at least it feels good. Right? Okay. The symbolism of this. My God. Okay. The Six of Swords, Judgment, and then the Five of Swords. And this is connected to, I want to say, feeling vulnerable. I'm not going to get into all the things that the second chakra represents, because I think it is like being in a vulnerable position. I can't help but notice that the Six of Swords is going in a different direction from the Judgment card, right? Like, they're going in a different direction. But it's weird, because the thing that follows Judgment is also not what you would expect. It's like having to cut something out because this is just not good. Okay, so now the symbolism of this is trying to get yourself into a better place, trying to work through things so that you find yourself in a better situation, going on a journey here, you know, because there is a bit of a spiritual journey, I would say, is associated with this energy, you know, because what am I describing? I'm describing, like, here, the scenario of, you know, what a lot of people strive for, what a lot of people never even achieve in a lifetime, you know, to perhaps be in an environment that is pretty much understand this, like pretty cut and dry. There's establishment here, but I'd rather try something fresh and new. You know, it's taking a bit of a chance. It's very kind of Aquarian too. Okay, so what I feel like that the symbolism of this is the different ways you feel vulnerable. Funny, right? With Cancer, I mean, being the crab and all the soft, gooey stuff inside of you, and the hard shell on the outside to protect that. So this is a very simple, I feel like there's something coming around for you, and it's likely going to play out as like a particular place or individual, but it represents a lot of what has happened in your life. So it's almost like maybe repeating certain lessons over and over again, or these lessons being presented in front of you, but you always kind of choosing this way instead of that. So the lesson keeps coming up, keeps coming up. It kind of feels like that. And it does have, I want to say it's either a way that you deceive yourself, sure, perhaps limiting yourself by being overprotective, even though when there's something inside of you that says this doesn't feel right. So I feel like because it's coming up as a positive, that this is also I want to say your guides would be bringing this to your attention, because it's very likely that you will pass it this time. Like you will pass this lesson and you will move beyond needing to like revisit it again in any other circumstance in your life. Because I do see with this symbolism here, cutting out your own new beginning. Because it might feel small or it might not seem logical. But right, it's still the fact about being vulnerable, because you feel vulnerable in this. You don't feel appreciated. You don't really, this is not satisfying me in a spiritual, creative, emotional way. But so this is the option. But it's smaller. It's not developed as much. It's not as predictable. It's not... there's no safety net for it. So you feel vulnerable in that. Okay. So I didn't know why it was coming to mind, but I was looking at your card here and I was describing, you know, like the soft gooey parts inside of you. So we all know with like crabs and other similar sort of crustaceans that if you crack them open without cooking them, it's just liquid. It's like liquid. It's kind of fascinating. So you got to cook them in the shell to harden what's inside. To not harden, because it doesn't harden. It solidifies. To solidify what flows within you. The symbolism area is quite interesting this week. So, and right, you have to get into the pot. You have to get into the fire. You have to feel these points of discomfort to solidify what flows inside you. Because it looks like and why wouldn't you be afraid of getting in the pot? It's going to cook you, right? Like, well, and it is a feeling of rebirth through fire. That seems very Cancerian. Like you would have a rebirth through fire, through boiling, through the process of boiling. Emotions simmering. Because the symbolism here is that regardless of what you choose, you're going to feel vulnerable. But if you make a choice, okay, now I feel like you're caught between a rock and a hard place sometimes. It's like weighing it out. It is. It's like weighing it out. Well, if I stick with this boss or this partner or this environment, or, I mean, this is what I can expect. And it's this, and that. But I'm certainly not fulfilled over here, here, and there. But if I go over here, I will be fulfilled in here, here, and there. But I won't have this, that, and the other. All right, well, let's look at the deceit. Why is the boomerang taking place? Well, I need to clarify it. The boomerang is taking place because of something that you, well, I want to say that you've disconnected from emotionally here. But that kind of makes sense with the King of Swords. I mean, this could even be, the King of Swords could even be you. And there's a part of yourself that you're not appreciating because it's a sensitive part, but it's also a part that I feel like, it doesn't grow. Because anytime judgment comes up for it, you defeat it and go in the other way. So yeah, emotionally disconnected from what you dream of. Both the Two of Wands and the Eight of Cups, kind of like a disconnect. They're not involved in things outside of themselves. And in the Hierophant, this might be bringing to light how you have maybe been convinced what your role is in certain dynamics. There's definitely a sense of limiting yourself here. I want to go to the Deceit card. The Deceit, the why the boomerang is taking, the boomerang. I keep saying that. Is there such a thing as a boomerang? I don't know. The boomerang, why it's taking place. Okay, Deceit. What is the Deceit? Temperance. Oh my God, the Six of Swords and the Sun. It's like that you have to wait to move towards what it is that you want. No, you don't. You don't have to wait to move towards what it is that is truly meant for you. You don't have to wait. That's the Deceit here. So I feel like in some way, any waiting you're doing is more like maybe indecision or wrestling with different fears based on this outcome or that, honest, true. Okay. The Eight of Cups. Or the King of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. So there's like, it's almost, I want to hear an emotional stalemate. Something is coming forward to get your emotions moving you. Because you're really meant to be going forward, but feeling like too vulnerable to do it. See, they're not moving towards judgment. It's cut out. There could also be something here about like wanting to avoid situations because of not wanting to be judged. The Two of Wands. The Five of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. You don't need a lot to make your dreams come true. So that's the other thing why this boomerang is taking place. Okay, it's to move energy, emotional energies that have become blocked. I feel like these emotional energies have become blocked by some sort of lack of money. Yes. He's holding these coins, the Deceit card. Four of Pentacles is hanging on tight to the money. And then we move into the Five of Pentacles. But yet the Five of Pentacles is where success leads. Again, it kind of feels like, if you... And I'm not telling you to quit your job or not. You do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what your cards say. But it really does look like, often coming to some sort of choice or situation in life where the facts are this, but there's nothing fulfilling. And, you know, I gave the example of this guy runs IBM and you're his right-hand man or secretary, whatever that is. Right? Like, there's profitability, there's abundance, there's stability, there's future profitability and abundance in that. But this is showing like to follow your dreams is in some capacity here to not be so concerned over how much money you have to do it. Because you don't have to wait. That's what this deceit is about. So I feel like there's some kind of an opportunity coming around for you. Again, it feels like it's a lesson or it's something that's come around for you before. Maybe there's been different points, different times in your life where you, okay, actually I'm going to stop right there because something else being shown to me. It's coming up as, oh, what the hell is it with, you know, when they started, was it Steve Jobs or no? I can't remember which one. It was either like with Microsoft or Apple. And I can't remember. Someone was with them in the beginnings of the business, right? But then they jumped out kind of early. They would have been a multi-billionaire by now, like if they stayed, but what this is, it's almost like the reverse of that is like, right? Because when they start, I think they were both in like garages or something, like starting out. So it's almost like that. It's like somehow having faith, because the Five of Pentacles, you're not going to get paid much. It could be like something like that. You're not going to get paid much, but this is what fills you. This is what gives you hope. This is what allows you to dream a little bit. This is what allows you to have creative license also. Because when you are starting something from scratch, you're figuring it out. You're building it up from the grassroots. So there is creative license kind of required in that. Where there is no creative license with the King of Swords. There can't be. Not in his archetype, because he does represent like doctors and lawyers, and you don't want your surgeon having creative license with you on the table. You want him to be doing something that's been done 300 million times already, and it's been proven to be effective doing it that way, and he's going to do it that way for you. Okay, right? It's true. So you can't say that that energy is negative or not. It certainly has its place and its importance. But for you, it's like you lie to yourself that you can't do something because of money. I don't know what that is, because I keep thinking to myself, well, I need to buy a house. So I need the money to buy a house. The Hierophant. Maybe I could just squat in a house. Spirit's telling you, Cindy, you don't have to buy a house. Just find one and squat in it. 10 of Cups. I don't think that works in Canada. I think that works better in the US. The 10 of Cups and the Empress with the Hierophant. Oh, that's nice. What is that? That is really nice. Where did we go all of a sudden? Like, that's what I'm saying. What? Okay. Now this is interesting. Okay, for some of you, I think there's something that you're working through here about how much you bring into a partnership. I don't know if that's interesting. Some of you might feel you don't have enough money to get married. You don't have enough money to cohabitate. You don't have enough money to do something in a relationship here. But that's actually the best time. That's what I'm seeing. You got an opportunity coming around that I feel like has come around for you before. It may not be this with the same people, in the same place, or it could be. But I honestly feel like the universe is going to keep offering you this until you kind of take it in the energy that you're meant to take it in. The other thing I want to say too, because we're talking about, you know, having enough money to do something, right? The way he's holding the coins, and Temperance is waiting, is biding your time and waiting. And then the Six of Swords is getting into a better place. It looks like a better financial position. And the Sun, like your dreams, your wishes, fulfilling them. And here, look at, you have the Hierophant, which is kind of like major commitments. It could be marriage. You have the Ten of Cups. I want to say it probably is. The Ten of Cups and the Empress. I mean, this would be a marriage, a unity based on like love and growth and nurturing and growing through love. It's like the cosmos marriage. Earth. But yeah, this is very interesting. Okay, so appreciation. Now that we're going, okay, let's see how this unfolds. Okay, the King of Swords. First, appreciation. Appreciation. The King of Swords. Well, he doesn't really say much, does he? The Knight of Swords landed. He landed the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. My God. This is like, what is this? This is, oh my God. This is somebody who, okay, because I'm asking about this card, appreciation, but the Knight of Swords landed face down on him. Okay, so this is somebody who's got a quick mind and a friggin' quick tongue, man. Like, this person can talk. And you probably would never win an argument with that person, ever. Or a debate or a discussion. Or, yeah. And I also want to say, okay, so there's something connected here with that. And then the Six of Pentacles, this came out, yeah, in the Taurus reading. Well, why wouldn't it? I mean, there's lots of cards coming out here. But it's, you know, the message I'm getting with that is just look at how he's like kind of above the kids. He's above the kids and he's dropping coins into their hands. They're distracted by what's landing in their hands. They don't even looking up to see where it's coming from. He's just like, look, I make magic. And it's kind of like a little bit, there's this feeling of being paid off here. Like deceiving people. This is a feeling of deceiving people with the wealth that you have, as opposed to, you know, your emotional depth, the real value of yourself. You might, why is this coming up? It's funny how it's almost like a theme for the day. Because of like being a commodity. That's what that feels like. The King of Swords. The Knight of Cups. The hell? What kind of transformation is that? And the Three of Pentacles. This is like building things with what you love. Oh, this is so interesting. Creating through what it is that you love and what feeds your heart and your inspiration. As opposed to at 9 a.m. we have a meeting. At 10 a.m. it's finished. The Chariot. This is like flexible, becoming flexible. Or the Queen of Pentacles. The King of Wands. I don't know what I'm going to do with this card. It really bugs me. And this deck. The Five of Cups. Maybe he's meant to bug me in this deck. Maybe that's it. Guy looks like he's jerking off. I'm just going to say. I'm sorry if that's impolite. But that's what it looks like. It's what I'm looking at. So I really want to get this deck in its full size, but I don't know if I want to be looking at him in full size. What is he doing with his hand between his legs underneath the robe? Come on. What is he doing? There could really, to me, only be one thing that he's doing there. And it's funny because the Five of Cups comes out. Oh, boy. This is almost like someone who's paid for sex. Isn't that funny? Because the prostitution card was coming out a bit last week in the archetype deck. This is someone who's paid for sex, paid for love, paid for power, or you've been bought through it. I don't know. With the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Jerk-offs here with the Five of Cups. There's no fulfillment. Oh my God. Okay, the other thing I'm getting is, if this has anything to do with like long-term connections, this is like you find yourself with someone who has a lot of money or has a lot of status, but you're the one ending up having to please yourself. King of Wands pleasing himself. And well, maybe that's the point of that card, because it is like a please yourself kind of energy. That's probably the most visual way to describe that. But emotionally, not long-term pleasure. The Page of Cups. Oh my God, that card. This deck is fascinating. It really is. The Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Wheel of the Year, so the Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. Oh, now we're taking a practical approach. Okay, this area of your life is really interesting. Oh my God. This area looks like where you compromise yourself. Different ways that your ego is built up over time. And I want to honestly say, like, finding yourself in relationships, whether those are like work or like romantic relationships or friendship relationships, where it might look good or the person might look really good. They got it all together, right? Whoever's running IBM, sure, he's driving the most expensive car possible, has the best corner office, you know, like, and rules with an iron fist. But also, what does he get? The Queen of Pentacles, and he ends up having to please himself, and that's not very emotionally satisfying. So this fits into your life, but I'm just telling you what I see, okay? So, what is the symbolism of this? The second chakra being intimate. Intimacy. Intimacy is the symbolism. There's no intimacy over here. There's no intimacy over here. This is like people appreciate you through the clothes that you wear, the money you have. Or you've been drawn to people that, like, those are determining factors for them. Now I understand why he's doing that under his robe, because he's the king of pleasing himself. Second chakra. The second chakra. The Queen of Cups. You know, it's just as that card better not change. Better not get like any stains on that robe. The Queen of Cups. Oh my God. What this symbolizes, love. Real love. The Six of Swords. And you don't need no money for that, honey. You don't. Oh, the Hanged Man. The Strength card. The Six of Cups and the Death card. God, it takes a long time to change perspective. It can take a long time to change your perspective when that's all you've known. I think the symbolism could not be more clear in terms of putting a crab into a pot of boiling water. And the whole purpose of that is, though, to solidify the emotions that flow within you, right? Because this Six of Cups into the Death card, it just feels like this is an ending of you. Like, you are not this person anymore. You're not, I don't know, like these things just don't work for you anymore, but they don't work for you in a way that you lose yourself, right? The crab that is not been cooked in the pot is completely different than the crab that has been cooked in the pot. When you come out of the pot, like it's almost like to do this, it almost feels self-destructive. And it's the second chakra, but it's love. It's allowing love in. Judgment. The Eight of Cups. The Three of Swords. There's a fear here of being judged, like not wanting to emotionally connect because you're afraid of being judged. Afraid of who you were in the past, or afraid of people knowing who you were in the past. The Five of Swords, so then, or I don't know. There's a feeling here of being really hard on yourself. I'm going to say that. The Nine of Wands, the World, the Eight of Wands, and the Page of Wands. It kind of feels like just holding back in any way you need to. Endings or things from finalizing. And when I say finalizing it, when you finalize something, you're not that anymore. So that's the part that you don't like or that you're uncomfortable with. I want to say, I feel like there's something here where you were brought up in some fashion. I mean, you might have had a parent, right? That was like, if you want love today, you need to make your bed. Or if you think you're going to get your allowance, you need to, I don't know, show me love. Like, it's kind of weird. And then that would skew how you appreciated yourself and these aspects of that you highlighted to others in terms of going for job interviews or meeting friends or finding romantic partners. Oh, you're underlying. Remember, it was the woman holding the coin and financial constraints. Yeah, there's something here about being controlled by people who have more money. So then trying to figure out how to be the one in control. And in the temple path and the broken heart, right? It's the wrong thing that's like the reason for the journey. So it's going to end up in heartbreak. And then the fifth chakra with the sixth chakra, this is speaking your mind. Definitely speaking your mind, speaking your thoughts. Action, walking away, and the thinking man. So I honestly do feel like you've walked away. So the area of your life, this doesn't have to be something that you're going through right now, because it's a boomerang. Like, this could be something that played out for you a long time ago, or something that you witnessed in relationships around you. And so you've been hesitant to relationships or committing to a work environment, or, you know, like there's something here like that. And then this is coming around here because it's like you making a choice, but so you're going to make a choice here in the future, but this choice is wrapped up in how you've learned things somehow. So it's almost as if this boomerang is coming around because the outcome is incredibly positive if you can see beyond the deceit or the illusion that's been produced in you from your own experiences. Because you're lying to yourself about having to wait to move into, you know, your true fulfillment, your happiness, your warmest, brightest, greatest days. And then, right, you had all this lack of pentacle here with Eight of Cups, King of Cups, Two of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Six of Wands. The Five of Pentacles is your success. Why wouldn't it be? Because now the person who you're going to find is going to love you for you. That's what this is. So that's the boomerang. The Hermit and the Tower. Wow. This honestly feels like making a big entrance. someone could be making a big entrance in your life. I'm going to go do the extended Cancer. In the extended, I'm going to use the Kippa, and I'm going to see what other positive what next or other positive boomerangs are also coming your way. Thank you so much, Cancer. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.